In January of 2025, a small Chinese laboratory headquartered in Hangzhou released an artificial intelligence model called DeepSeek V3. They gave away the weights, the training methods, and the architecture details for free. Within 48 hours, Wall Street erased $1 trillion in market capitalization from American technology stocks. NVIDIA stock suffered its absolute worst single day in company history, signaling a massive reevaluation of the industry's pricing power. The 48-hour fallout suggests that the narrative of an unbridgeable American lead in artificial intelligence was built on a much thinner moat than anyone had assumed. For years, the American strategy has relied on maintaining a closed ecosystem, building the world's most capable models in private vaults, while using expert controls on advanced chips to slow Chinese development. Chinese labs realized they could not win that specific race. Instead of competing to own the best private model, they pivoted to a different goal: providing the default infrastructure for the rest of the world. This strategy utilizes a specific form of asymmetry. By releasing models 90% as capable as the American frontier and charging $0, they bypass barriers the US spent billions to build. With the code freely accessible, physical chip embargoes become significantly less effective at stopping global adoption. Washington's effort to restrict a superpower's hardware has inadvertently incentivized that power to decentralize its intelligence across the entire global digital landscape. The open-source push extends far beyond DeepSeek. Alibaba's research division maintains the Qwen family, releasing new iterations roughly every 2 months to ensure their models stay within striking distance of American frontier labs. The Yi models, backed by former Google China chief Kai-Fu Lee, prioritize bilingual performance on the smaller parameter counts required for deployment on everyday mobile devices. With ByteDance, Tencent, Baidu, and others regularly shipping new open weights, the ecosystem has reached a volume that American closed-source providers find difficult to ignore. This sustained release cadence is an explicit industrial policy designed to use the sheer volume of Chinese releases to erode the dominance of American incumbents. American AI labs operate under a heavy cost structure. They must charge high subscription fees to recoup the tens of billions they spend on research talent and the massive infrastructure needed to train their proprietary models. That business model is vulnerable to a competitor that gives a nearly comparable product away for free. When an open model offers most of the same capabilities for zero licensing fees, the justification for a $20 per month American subscription begins to collapse. This pricing pressure has a compounding effect. If American labs cannot maintain their revenue margins, the venture capital pipeline required for the next generation of expensive technical breakthroughs could begin to contract. There are real risks to this model. These open weights can be fine-tuned to strip away safety guardrails, and they often obscure the centralization of the actual training data used to build them. Ultimately, China is utilizing the economics of openness to compress the financial value of the American tech monopoly from the bottom up. This strategy is finding a massive audience in the rise of sovereign AI. Nations around the world are now trying to build their own independent intelligence grids to ensure their national security and economic independence. In the United Arab Emirates, domestic initiatives like G42 are already using these foundations to build out a localized infrastructure. Similar sovereign projects are being led by major conglomerates in allied nations, such as NEC and Fujitsu in Japan. These nations face a choice. They can pay for locked American programming interfaces, or they can use free, highly capable Chinese code as the base layer for their own customized systems. Because the Chinese ecosystem offers the most accessible path to sovereignty, critical global infrastructure is being built on Chinese architectures for reasons of pure economic practicality. When a country builds its data pipelines and engineering workflows on top of a specific model foundation, it creates a long-term dependency. After several years of integration, the technical cost of switching to a different architecture becomes prohibitive. The result is a quiet shift in the global digital operating system. While the end user never sees the source code, the underlying logic of the world's AI infrastructure is becoming increasingly Chinese-flavored. As Washington debates new regulatory walls and export restrictions, these open-source models are already becoming deeply embedded in the foundational layers of the global economy. Open-source AI has been transformed into a tool of statecraft. China has successfully identified a strategic path that functioned regardless of American hardware bans, creating dependencies that will be difficult to reverse in the decade to come.